The same case. It's an independent case. He was able to find it on Java. We are facing it.
The whose office? The son's office. So what's the plan now?
They want to file a motion.
Processing aside of that judgment.
Proceedings. Judgment has been resolved. Then file their processes.
Okay, okay.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. How are you? Fine, thank you. Good morning,
Good morning, sir.
Mr. Maxwell.
Good morning. Sir.
Sorry.
All of us the ones, only a man that is and this justice. But so just say,
Let me see. Show me the name. This one, go ahead.
Good morning, sir. How are you, sir?
Okay, yes.
We thank God.
All right, today was Nnamdi Kanu's court trial, and as usual, a lot of drama happened in court today. First of all, we had United States observers. We had observers from United States and observers who were actually amazed, with the kind of judiciary that we run in this country, in the Zoological Republic of Animal Kingdom. In court, a witness is covering his face with mask. This is the first time they are hearing this kind of thing. But, well, that is not the issue, because we are here, to tell you about what is happening or what really transpired today in court. Now, adding to that interview, before we go into fully what really happened in court and the full update, now, I want to make a very serious observation today in court. Now, the witness said he believed the Vanguard publication where Onyame alleged that Nnamdi Kanu instructed him to get 2,000 hairs, but he got only 30 hairs, which he regarded. But when further asked by Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer in the cross-examination if he believed the same Vanguard publication where Sunday Igboho alleged that DSS planted weapon in his house to implicate him, the dude said he didn't believe it. The same person who said he believes everything the newspaper publishes, that everything the newspaper publishes is true when it came to the issue of Nnamdi Kanu. But this same person contradicted himself when Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer just threw him just a simple question. During Sunday Igboho case, Sunday Igboho that has been released, the same Vanguard who carried this propaganda and lie, said that Sunday Igboho alleged that DSS planted weapon in his house to implicate him. The dude said he don't believe it. He doesn't believe it because it was against the DSS. Remember, this person is a DSS personnel. He is the person who is, in quote, who is testifying, against Nnamdi Kanu. He said he doesn't believe because DSS is involved. So he contradicted himself, clearly saying, in fact, that contradiction means that whatever you are saying or whatever accusation you're laying on Nnamdi Kanu based on newspaper publication are mere allegation. Pure mere allegation. There is no proof to back it up, and no proper investigation was actually carried. Get evidence. Now just talk. You talk. Cho. You talk without evidence. This is what the zoo is known for. Now let us go into the full details of what really happened in court today. Back to back details as it started. Now, court update 18th June 2025. There was a high drama which unfolded at Nnamdi Kanu's trial as marked witness testified before United States observer. Like I said earlier, this is the first time that they are seeing this kind of thing. Now, quickly, the courtroom was tensed and fully packed today, 18th June 2025, as the trial of Nnamdi Kanu resumed. Foreign observers, including senior officials from the United States National Center for State Cause, were present to monitor proceedings. All eyes were on the masked witness 4, who continued his testimony under tight security. Testimony of lies and propaganda. This is what they are known for. We continue. The session began with both the prosecuting and defense teams introducing themselves. The presiding judge confirmed that the hearing would continue from where the cross-examination stopped during the last sitting, as witness 4 had not yet completed his testimony. The prosecuting counsel opened by asking, was Benjamin Madubugu detained in Abuja? Mass witness 4 replied, yes, but Benjamin Madubugu and Nnamdi Kanu were taken to the DSS together. But Nnamdi Kanu admitted in front of us that he was the one in the video and cleared Benjamin of every involvement. That is what a true leader does. He doesn't implicate people. He knows that he is innocent. He knows he is taking full responsibility for anything that comes out of it. That is a leader who puts his people first before himself. Well, that is that. Let us still continue, on that. However, the judge firmly rejected some documents presented by the prosecution, stating angrily, this court cannot rely on these exhibits. They are obtained unlawfully without knowing the defendant access, to a lawyer during the interrogation. They didn't allow the defendant access to a lawyer during the interrogation. So the judge had to angrily, reject those documents. We continue. Now, in response, the prosecutor tendered a different document from the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC. Now, prosecutor, can you identify this document? Witness 4 said, yes, is from the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC. They came to inspect a transmitter Nnamdi Kanu brought to the DSS headquarters. Judge, does the defense have any objection? Defense counsel said, no objection, my lord. The court admitted the National Broadcasting Commission NBC report as an official exhibit. The cross-examination continued. Prosecutor, what do you know about the transmitter? Witness 4, from what I saw, it was clear that it was meant for broadcasting, but bringing a transmitter into Nigeria without government approval is illegal, and no approval was, actually obtained. So it is no longer an issue of terrorism. It is now an issue of smuggling. So at least that has been established. The zoo, you people will never change. Let us still continue. Prosecutor, who owns the transmitter? Witness 4, the defendant, Nnamdi Kanu owns it. Check Vanguard newspaper, 3rd July 2023. This was when he started calling Vanguard, as if they put all their evidence in Vanguard. But let us continue. Let's see how we can round up this news as quickly as possible. Prosecutor, if I show you the publication, can you recognize it? Yes, I can, Witness 4 said. Though the defense objected to the Vanguard newspaper being admitted, the judge overruled and marked it as an official exhibit. The prosecutor then read an excerpt from the newspaper. It was written statement supposedly made by one Uzoma Benjamin, also known as Onyamin. In the article, he claimed that Nnamdi Kanu ordered him through his superior to unalive 2,000 people. He said he managed to unalive 30, but later regretted it. It's important to note the prosecution is using this as evidence based solely on a newspaper report, not through his own investigation. After this back and forth and all the lies and propagandas and all the, cho without evidence that the zoo tried, to do in court today. At the end, the court section was actually adjourned by the judge, and to tomorrow and next tomorrow. That is 19th and 20th. So the court case is going to continue tomorrow. So stay tuned because a lot of things will actually be reviewed tomorrow. You'll be shocked with what is going to come up in this court hearing. But everything we know is that at the end, Nnamdi Kanu is definitely coming out of this. Even the United States observers were shocked with the kind of judiciary we have, how our court section is actually being handled in the zoo.
Full details of Nnamdi Kanu's court appearance today, 13th June 2025. Hear the news in details. Wonderful people of Biafra, lovers of freedom all over the world, you are welcome once again to Biafra Unite channel /television this very moment. Today's date is 13th of June 2025, and of course I want to go through today's court proceedings of Nnamdi Kanu at the Federal High Court, Abuja, where Justice James Omotosho, the presiding judge. So of course, you all know that we were live this very morning / afternoon. We were live talking about or giving the information and of course the update concerning our Prime Minister's court proceeding today in Finland. So, not knowing that our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, was also in court. And do you know why? Because they have succeeded in putting everybody in dark. Remember that the judge has been warning both Barrister Aloy Ejimako and every other person, including the wife of Nnamdi Kanu's younger brother, who was equally suspended from attending court proceedings. They even threatened Barrister Aloy Ejimako that if he continues to discuss about this case on social media or making things public, he's going to be suspended as well. So, it is quite unfortunate that nobody knew that Nnamdi Kanu was going to appear in court today. The date that we were waiting for was on the 16th, which was, the previously adjourned date, not 13th. So, but as we all can see, it really happened today. So without further ado, let us go through today's court proceedings. So, as you can see on your screen, I will be reading from the transcription of today's court proceedings of Nnamdi Kanu. I was not there, but the transcription is actually, breakdown of the court proceedings today. Everything that happened, the way it happened, bit by bit, will be read out during the course of this very broadcast. So just pay attention while I take you through them. Now, just in, court adjourns the trial of Nnamdi Kanu to 16th, 18th and 19th of June 2025, in line with the outlined dates for continued hearing. Below is the summary of today's court. Both defending and prosecuting counsels have their routine introductions after the mentioning of the matter by the court official. Witness PW4DDD has moved to the witness box and introduced himself as a DSS agent once again. Preliminary examination of witness commences. Prosecution counsel, do you know who Nnamdi Kanu is? Of course, you all know who is prosecution counsel, the so-called son, Awomolo. So he's the one now questioning his own witness in the court. The witness, yes, he is IPOB leader Nnamdi Kanu, who has been calling for the breakup and cessation of Southeast from Nigeria. Point of order. That is never a crime. It's never a crime. The Southeast Nigeria, as they call it, is owned by the people. There are inhabitants. There are people that inhabit the land, the owners of the lands of their ancestors. So they have the right to decide where they want to belong. It is their inalienable right to decide where they want to belong. You must not force them to be under a particular union. It is within their right. So let's continue. Prosecution counsel, how can you describe him? Imagine, how can you describe him? Witness, he is a terrorist. You see, Prosecution Awomolo is asking his own witness, how can you describe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Then the so-called witness, Triple D, said he's a terrorist. So what do you expect? Is that your own evidence? Is that your own evidence? Is that your witness that you brought said that the man, or should I say the defendant, is a terrorist, and then you have won? Prosecuting counsel, how did you get to know him? Witness, I knew him when he was arrested in Lagos and he incites people through Radio Biafra. Wow. Prosecuting counsel, where did he keep the transmitter used in airing Radio Biafra? Witness, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu kept it in one Benjamin Madubugu's house at Ubulisi Uzo. Prosecuting counsel, who was assigned to carry out the transmitter search? Witness, I was to carry out the search, locate the transmitter, and retrieve it. The prosecuting counsel moved towards the witness box and shows the masked witness the search warrant for the transmitter. Then prosecuting counsel, in whose name was the search warrant issued? Witness, in the presence of Madubugu at his house in Ubulisi Uzo. Let me use this opportunity to say, don't be surprised if they bring Benjamin Madubugu to witness against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. I'm saying it today. It has not happened, but don't be shocked. Don't forget that Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is another freedom fighter, another leader in the struggle in Finland, was also in the court on 11th of June. And we all saw members of DOS testifying against him. So don't be shocked. Do not be surprised. Do not develop goosebumps if you see Benjamin Madubugu tomorrow testifying against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Don't be shocked. Don't be shocked. I'm telling you. Now, NB, the presiding judge has raised eyebrow on live reports and transcription of court proceedings. In other words, he doesn't want further reports and prefers secret trials, but we must continue. Did you get that? Wow. This is deep. This is deep. My people, this is deep. Do not trust the zoo. This is deep. At the end of this very broadcast, or towards the end of it, I'm going to point out 3 different things to you, which are going to take home. Those 3 things that I'm going to point out, I would want you to reason with them, digest it, calculate it, reason with it, and then you will begin to see this whole drama in a different shape. I'm not going to over-exaggerate it. I'm not going to hype it. I'm not going to over-talk it. But I will point out 3 different things for you to go home with and reason. Now, let's continue. Prosecution. What are the contents of the container you found at Benjamin Madubugu's house? Witness. 2 pump-action guns, live bullets, 2 pistols, and cartridges. We ordered Benjamin Madubugu to open the transmitter, and when he did, we only saw household items. Okay, they saw household items. Remember, this is an evidence already on its own. This word now, you know why? Because the only thing that attached the name of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Benjamin Madubugu's house is the transmitter. You understand? All those pump action, cartridges, and the ammunitions and all that has nothing to do with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So the only thing that attaches Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's name is the transmitter. And now they have said here, according to the so-called witness Triple D, he said, we ordered Benjamin Madubugu to open the transmitter. And when he did open it, we only saw household items. So the only thing that was seen in the transmitter is the household items, which is not, offensive or incriminating. You understand? So let's continue. Prosecution. Is what you're holding in your hand now the same video that was handed over to you for the transmitter investigation? The witness, yes, it is. The video evidence has been tendered by the prosecuting counsel, and presiding judge marked it as an exhibit. Prosecution. What were the contents of the materials found during the raid of Benjamin Madubugu's house? Witness. 2 pump actions was found in the container. Chimezie moved household stuff. Chimezie, of course, you all know Chimezie, the other one. I was asked to keep the container. MNK and Chimezie came and inspected the container. Prosecution. In your 25 years of work in the Southeast, how would you describe the atmosphere of the Southeast? Witness. Life has been made difficult due to IPOB activities, IPOB committing terrorist acts. You see? Onye na-asa kusiama nke a na-ajụrụ ya self. Ọ na-asịa siama nke a na-ajụrụ ya. Iji gosi, that's to show you not ife alụrụ alụ. Ife dị na-abịa ife akpara akpa. These are all staged. Ọ na-asa ka a na-ajụrụ ya. Because he is under pressure to deliver. He's under immense pressure to deliver. That's why he answers both the ones that he was not even asked. Now, prosecution. Are all members of IPOB ESN 2? Listen. Are all members of IPOB ESN 2? Is it every member of IPOB is equally a member of the Eastern Security Network 2? Let us see the witness. The witness, yes, they enforce Nnamdi Kanu instructions. They attack security agents, especially Hausa Fulani. You see, first of all, the question shouldn't have even come in the first place. But the question is all IPOB members of ESN? Then he said yes. They first of all, he said yes, which is false. This is complete arrant nonsense. How can all IPOB members be members of ESN too? IPOB are all Biafrans. We are in legion, not just in millions, but we are in legion. So how can you say all IPOB are ESN? I don't understand. Now he went on to say, even though he was not asked, he said they enforce Nnamdi Kanu instructions. They attack security agents, especially Hausa Fulani. Baseless allegations. He said everyone is laughing in court. You see, everyone is laughing in court because of his stupidity. How can you say all IPOB are members of ESN? This person has not even worked as a DSS member or official, not to talk of working in the Southeast. I am telling you, based on what he's saying, he knows absolutely nothing about Southeast. Now, examination of witness PW4DDD continues. Prosecution, examination by his boss, the man who brought him, not examination of the witness by the defense counsel. Now, prosecution, how do you identify ESN? Witness, they move in large groups. ESN engage in more of a guerrilla warfare. Nnamdi Kanu gives instructions through Radio Biafra, especially on Biafra Day, May 30th, for them to attack especially government agencies. Our facility listens to all Nnamdi Kanu's broadcasts. It did not end there. Prosecution applies to play the broadcast of May 29th. MNK broadcast being played has just ended. After being played, prosecutor decided to discontinue the first broadcast. Prosecutor himself decided to discontinue the first broadcast. Do you know why he discontinued it? I will tell you. Now, review of Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast, where he boldly said, no business person, no mosque, no churches should be touched. That is the anger of the prosecution, because you see the way God works. You see the way God works. He never knew, they are in a hurry. They are in a hurry. They never knew that in that same broadcast they brought to court, there's a place where Nnamdi Kanu said that no business person, no mosque, no churches should be touched. Allow them to be. Don't touch them. Including banks, schools. Nnamdi Kanu has always said this on his live, broadcast. Don't touch banks. Don't touch schools. Don't touch business person. Don't touch anybody. He always said this. Now, Witness narrated that Gulag was unalive on Monday. Another lie. Suffice to say that May 30th, 2021 was on a Sunday and not Monday as claimed by the witness. You see, you remember I played that Nnamdi Kanu's May 30th live broadcast in 2021. I played it here just a couple of weeks or months ago, not even up to 2 months, like last month. I played it in full. Yes, and Obanje Weba. Now, prosecution is sit at home still ongoing, and witness said, yes, my lord. Prosecution, who is the consul Osu?